YouTube, I'm Sarah and today I am doing my November wrap-up. For November, I managed to read 6 books, even with NaNoWriMo going on, although that could have to do with me not really getting much done for NaNoWriMo. I don't even know what my final word count is currently. I know it's not 50,000, it's not even half, but that'll be another video for another day. So most of these books are audiobooks because I did listen to them while at work. The first one that I read was Marked, which is the first book of the Servants of Fate series by Sarah Fine. This book, while an interesting premise, it didn't really grab me. Like, right now I hardly remember the book. The next book I finished for the month of November was Born of Betrayal by Sherilyn Kenyon. This is the 10th book in the League series. This is one of my favorite all-time series. If I am in a reading slump, I tend to revert back to one of these books to get me back into reading, and it works for me like that. Fane ended up leaving his betrothed for reasons I don't really want to say because they will spoil the story. And he now has to work with her. So upon their first meeting, just to give an idea of how the story goes, he gets off the ship. They see each other for the first time in who knows how long, and she shoots him in the chest. So the book is full of, I guess, intrigue and suspense and action here and there thrown in just to keep you gripped and wanting to read, and I would definitely recommend this book or even this series. Could you read the stories out of order? Yes, but you'd be slightly lost when they refer back to things that have happened, and some of the jokes and one-liners don't have the punch because you wouldn't necessarily have the backstory to go with it. So I do probably recommend going to the beginning and starting with Born of Night. The third book I finished is actually a short story, and again this was an audiobook, and it was Wonderment in Death by J.D. Robb, and this is the 41st and a half book in the In Death series. If you're paying attention to what order the books go in, more or less I think they could go in almost any order except for the first few when they're introducing everybody. Anywho, I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This again is another series that is a go-to of mine and can cure any reading slump for me, again like that. This book follows Eve Dallas, where she is thrown into a murder-suicide case that seems open and shut, except one of her closest friends was friends with the person who allegedly committed the murder-suicide and swears that she would never kill her brother and would never commit suicide unless there had to be something else going on. So Eve starts digging just to, make her friends happy, and because her friend is someone that she really trusts. Eve investigates and finds that there is something hinky going on, and it's a relatively interesting case. The fourth book was also an audiobook, I know, surprise, surprise, called Dead Spots by Melissa F. Olson, the first book in the Scarlett Bernard series. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. While it was interesting, it wasn't that interesting, and it didn't really, hold me in the story whatsoever. So yeah, I only gave it 3 out of 5 stars. This book is about a girl who essentially nullifies vampires and werewolves and makes them normal humans. She's basically called a null. And she gets blamed for a murder, which she did not commit. So then she has to solve the murder to clear herself. After Dead Spots, I finished the Penryn and the End of Days trilogy with World After and then The End of Days. Both these books I gave 3 out of 5 stars. While I enjoyed them, they didn't really grip or pull me into the story, so they entertained me well enough that I did somewhat enjoy them, and thus I gave them the 3 stars out of 5. Overall, the trilogy follows Penryn and the angel or archangel Raphael as pretty much the End of Days is coming. And so it's just a big rush or race to survive, and it's this big, or made to be this big, war slash struggle to stay alive. I thought the idea might have been a little interesting, but I don't know, it felt like the book was just missing something for me. So I gave them 3 out of 5 stars. So those are the books that I managed to read for the month of November, and I'm so happy because this puts me only 1 book to the end of the year needed to finish my goal of reading 52 books in the year, which averages out to be 1 book a week. So very excited. This is the first time I will, well, since joining Goodreads, this is the first time that I will actually make my reading goal. And I am curious to know what books you read in November and how you are looking for your reading goals. Please let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you soon with another video. TTFN!